Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're taking the new Sugafest exclusives in Moria into the Hawkins Forest and starting a bit of a world tour of the new legends that have released over here on the global side of the game. So as I mentioned, we are hopping into the Hawkins Forest utilizing a driven powerhouse team led by the new Moria. So we're going to have a quick look at the team and then we're going to jump into the forest. If you're enjoying today's video, make sure you go down there and belt the like button for me. If you're new to the channel too, hit the big red subscribe button. But what does Moria do? As a captain, he is a 5 times captain with a matching orb, 4.5 times otherwise. HP by 1.3 to driven powerhouse units. Heals 0.5 of his recovery for every perfect. And heals crew by number of enemies defeated by normal attacks multiplied by 50% of the crew's total recovery at the end of the enemy's turn. So this guy's really, really good at healing. When you hit perfects, you get healing. When you kill enemies, you get healing. And if you team him up with stuff like Big Mom versus Big Mom, you can just get so much healing. And it works really, really nicely. His special changes all orbs into matching. Unfortunately, it's not through block orbs, but it is for all units. He's then going to boost driven and powerhouse characters' slot effects by 2.5 for one turn, nullifies a portion of damage dealt over 2,000, which is a lot. Basically, you're not dying. And then after one turn, he gives driven and powerhouse characters a 2.25 color affinity buff. So you get that little clock buff, and on the next turn, you basically get color affinity, which is great because it stops stuff like interrupts and whatnot, and was really good for the new, what's his name, Vasco Shot event. So it is a pretty good special, and he's a very, very good character. A lot of healing, and in Forest is where this guy is going to actually shine, or in longer content where you can actually utilize that heal mechanic. But let's take a quick look at his team. So in today's video, I am using Driven Powerhouse. We are using Ambush Linlin. She's amazing to lock those recovery orbs. She's our attack booster as well. She's a fantastic free-to-play unit. If you haven't done so, make sure to farm her up. But for this team to work as quickly as it does, you do need the support of Perispero. Now, I don't think it's essential, Perispero, but it definitely helps out a lot. Actually, I did try it without Perispero, and we did die on the Hold'em stage, so I feel like you just need a way to get like at least one turn of threshold removal. And using Perispero on Ambush Linlin does the trick. Next, we've got Yonko. Now, Yonko is really, really good because their switch ability can remove Special Bind, Paralysis, and give us matching or guaranteed recovery orbs. Once we get past like the Kinemon Conjurer stage, it doesn't really matter too much about the recovery orb, but before that, that healing is so damn good. Plus their special's nice healing. You don't need this Opera support. You can replace this Opera support with whatever you like. I was trying something a little bit different, but I ended up having to stall an extra turn on Jack, so you can take Opera off, put on whatever you like. Any attack booster should work fine. Or, sorry, any stat boost should work fine. Next, we've got Jumanji. Now, Jumanji's basically the key to this particular team. With Moria being a 5 times captain with matching orbs, you want to have matching orbs as much as possible, and utilizing this guy as a sub, actually helps out significantly because he makes powerhouse characters, Psi, recovery, and tandem slots have matching slot effects, and because of this, we can actually get those recovery orbs to be matching, and that way we can actually hang on to them for the entire run, which is really, really nice. They have a nice switch ability too, removing block slots as well as special bind on themselves, which is great for the Kato stage. Also giving us that chain multiplier buff, and their special being an amazing paralysis removal as well as a 2 times attack and orb boost. So very, very strong unit, and I didn't actually have them when I was testing a few things, but I just didn't have the damage without the orbs. So when I found this guy, well, I used him on my Enel team actually, and I think it was on my Enel team. I used him before on Hawkins, and I just remembered how good he was for the Kato stage, so I thought I'd chuck him on. And then with that Sailor ability, it was just basically a no-brainer. The final unit is Halloween Buggy. This guy removes Special Bind and Defense Up, which is great for the final stage, as well as the Kyoto Shiro stage. We can also use the support of Robin just for a little bit of extra attack on our Int unit. So that's the team. It worked very, very well. The final thing that we need to talk about is the Magello ship. Damage reduction, as long as your captain is Psi or Int. You also get the ability to lock orbs, which is really, really nice, as that way you don't have to worry about using the Magellan super typing. So that's enough about the team. Let's hop into the run now. Alright, so we're over here on the Hold'em stage, and 2 turns have gone by. We have all the threshold removed. And when I was doing this run, we actually were on stream, so shout out to the guys that came to the stream. If you guys want to check out the streams, we do stream every Monday and then sporadically throughout the week. So if you just hit that little bell notification if you've already subscribed, it'll let you guys know when I'm streaming. But on this particular stage against Hold'em, we're actually going to use the switch abilities of our Jumanji and Yonko. Then we're going to use one of our Moria specials to give us a full board of orbs, and then finish it off with the Ambush Linlin special to get the attack boost and the recovery slots. We're then going to lock those slots with the Magello special, and with that locking of slots, we can actually hang on to these recovery orbs for the entire run. Magellan actually makes all other orbs matching with his special as well, so that way we can have an orb on our friend Captain Magellan and our Buggy as well. So it works really, really nicely. Once we move on to the next stage, we come up against Kanjuro and Kinemon. Now, against Kanjuro and Kinemon, they give us 3 turns of paralysis on our captains and special reverse our top and middle rows. So what you want to do is you actually want to use the switch ability of Wako to remove the paralysis. Now, I actually totally forgot to switch on this first turn, but be mindful, you do have the color affinity buff from the Moria on the previous turn, and you don't want to do too much damage here, as if you get them both below half HP or kill one of them, they basically just ruin your run. Now, as I mentioned, you do want to switch with Wako, so that way you are removing the paralysis, but I got very lucky here and actually managed to attack with one of my units, one of my Morias, I should say, through the paralysis. But if you guys just switch with your Wako each turn, you won't have any issues, as the paralysis will be gone. Make sure to use a super typing of one of your Magellans here, that way you do a little bit more damage against Kanjuro, and as you can see, we can actually take both of them out on the second turn. Magellan just got so much damage, provided you have that matching orb. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Kyoto Shiro. He's going to give us 2 turns of special bind, and he has 3 turns of defense up. So again, with the switch ability of Wako, we can actually remove the special bind, which is really, really nice. But on the second turn, he actually puts up the special bind once again, as well as having still that 2 turns of defense up. On the third turn, he's going to put up damage reduction, so just be mindful of that. But this is where Stampede Buggy, or not Stampede, but I did it again. Halloween Buggy is so damn good, because he can remove the special bind, he can remove the defense up, and then with that cheeky little Robin support, we can get a little bit more attack for our int units. We need to make sure we use the switch ability of Jumanji here, and we ideally want to be in Whitebeard when we are attacking. And as long as you hit your perfects, I don't know if like Cotton Candy is fully essential here. I'm going to say it is, purely because we only just had the damage against Kyoto Shiro. And if you miss a perfect there, it basically ended your run. So, unfortunately, I think Cotton Candy and limit breaking and all that sort of stuff is essential for this particular team, but this is more of a showcase video, less than the how-to video. If you are looking for a very, very good team to take this down, check out my Roger Odin hybrid team. I'll try and leave a link or a card for you guys at the top of the video. Go check out that team if you are struggling with this forest, as that team works very, very well. On the next stage, we come up against Jack. Now, Jack gives us 2 turns of despair, and that's why I originally had the Opera support, but I just needed that extra turn of stalling for Big Mom. That way I could get her special ready by the Sanji, Zoro, and Law stage. But we're going to take 3 turns over here on the Jack stage. Basically, once he puts up the burn and the paralysis is when we're going to move on. We're going to switch with our Wako to remove the paralysis. Once again, this is why Wako is just so good for this particular team. We can also use their special to give us 20,000 healing. And then we can use the Jumanji switch ability for the chain boost mechanic. And then their special to give our powerhouse units, which this whole team is besides Buggy, a 2 times attack and 2 times orb boost. We're going to finish it off with the super typing of Moria, purely for the cooldown on our Big Mom. That is the only reason we are actually using it. And that way we can actually take out Jack. You might need to hit a few perfects here, so just be mindful of that. Ideally hit your perfects with your powerhouse units, not Buggy like I did. But you do want to hit a couple of perfects just to make sure you have the damage against Jack. But just be mindful, that burn is like 10k, so it is going to hit you hard. So just make sure you have enough HP, or eat some recovery orbs along the way, just to make sure that you can tank that burn shot. Against Law, Zoro, and Sobermask now, they're going to bind our top and bottom right, as well as our middle left for 1 turn. And this is why you want to make sure you have Big Mom in the middle right-hand slot, as well as making sure we can get her special ready to go by this particular stage. We're going to use the Moria special first to give ourselves a full board, well, not full board orbs, 2.5 times orb boost to our Driven and Powerhouse units, and then we're going to get an attack boost with Big Mom. Now, Big Mom's attack boost is only going to kick in after you do a certain amount of hit counters, but on this particular stage, you really just want to focus on taking out Law. Taking out Law is the essential part here, but as you guys can see, we just have so much damage that we could actually tear through the whole stage in 1 turn. But don't stress, as long as you take out Law, you can then focus on Sobermask, and then you can focus on Zoro as you get that color affinity carryover. Ideally, though, you want to stall on this particular stage against Jack. Against Jack, we get 3 turns of attack down. He also has 3 turns of damage reduction and threshold. But we're going to stall here just to get all our specials back. So make sure you're eating those meat orbs every single turn, as we can actually heal up more than what Jack's damage does. Be mindful too that I don't actually have max auto heal on this particular team, so that is something else to note. If you have max auto heal, you will be getting that extra 500 every single turn, and that way you can stay at max HP. Be mindful too that Jack will blow away your captain every 2 turns, but eventually he'll change to a quick unit, and then he'll start doing double attacks. Once he starts doing double attacks and the threshold of the damage reduction's gone, we can actually start taking Jack out literally just with our normal attacks, and we can move on to the next stage. But I'm going to fast forward until then. I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we got Jack very, very low, and ideally you want to get him to a point where you can actually kill him by eating the last 4 meat orbs, because once we hit the next stage against Kaido, our healing is basically going to become non-existent, and because of that, it's very, very important here that we actually have as much HP, just in case we need to tank a few shots on the Kaido stage. But as you can see, normal attacks, having enough HP, as well as enough recovery through those 4 meat orbs to actually just take out Jack is very, very nice. Against Kaido, he puts up 5 turns of burn. Now, that burn is like 20,000, so do not hit your perfects unless you have a lot of HP. But we're just going to switch with our Jumanji, switch with our Wako, as well as use one of our Moria specials here to give ourselves a 2.5 times attack boost. Sorry, orb boost, not attack boost, orb boost. As well as the threshold buff on ourselves. That means that Kaido is going to do significantly less damage, and we're actually going to output a lot of damage against Kaido. Remember not to hit your perfects. 20,000 on each perfect is so much goddamn damage that you will most likely die if you hit like 2 or 3 perfects. Every turn, Kaido is going to do a blast breath. He's going to then give us double damage and then attack us. But with our limit breaks, we can actually remove the double damage, which is really, really nice. Over the next 2 turns, we're just going to hit our greats, take out Kaido with our normal attacks, and just tank that blast burn that he gives us. As you can see, we're getting like 5 healing per recovery orb. So that recovery down that Kaido gives us at the start of the fight is actually just really, really annoying, as the whole like cheese of this content is to literally just use those recovery orbs to just make your way through the whole content. Once you kill Kaido, though, he actually has a revive mechanic, and he gives us 3 turns of special bind on our entire crew. This is where Jumanji is so damn good, because with their switch ability, you can actually remove special bind on themselves. We can use their special then to give us a 2 times attack and 2 times orb to our powerhouse units. And then don't forget to switch with Wako as well to start removing that special bind, as we do want it gone on the final stage against Hawkins. Because we have the 2 times attack and the 2 times orb, we can say goodbye to Kaido and move on to the final stage against Hawkins. Against Hawkins, he turns into the opposite color to what your captain is, which actually works out, well, sorry, not the opposite. He turns to like the inverted, so like he's strong against your captain, and if you're int, he turns int. If you're psi, he turns psi. Obviously with strength, dex, and quick, he turns into the, if you're quick, he turns into dex. You guys get the point. But because we do have 3 psi units on this team, it does work quite nicely, as we do have a lot of color affinity. Hawkins gives us 3 turns of despair, and he has 2 turns of a defense up, so we can actually remove that with the Halloween buggy. We can remove the despair with Lin, get an attack boost, we can get an orb boost with Moria, and Bob's your uncle. We're going to have enough damage to take him out. But first, let's check out this beautiful special. I gotta say, that animation is very, very clean. So once we've done all that, we've got an attack boost, we've got an orb boost, and we should have enough damage to take out our boy Hawkins here. Now, I only just had enough damage, so make sure you do attack with your psi units last. I got very cocky, I wanted to end it with Moria, but make sure that you don't do that. Make sure that you just attack with your 3 Morias and then let your psi characters do all the damage at the end. Otherwise, you might be just a little bit short on damage. But there you guys go. That was my Moria showcase against the Hawkins Forest. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. If you're new to the channel too, hit the big red subscribe button. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Let's...